Hi everyone, my name is Oscar and I'm a scientist, and today I'm here to talk about frequently asked questions about EB2 NIW process. And these are questions that you ask in my channel via email, so I'm going to from time to time release a video talking about those questions. Today is about lawyers and EB2 NIW. Let's start. So this here on the screen is an example of the types of questions that you guys ask. This first one is asking, if the case is denied, do you think that it's possible to apply another time with a lawyer? Or this other person asks, hi Oscar, thanks a lot. My question is, do we really need to hire a lawyer to apply for this visa, or can it also be self-applied without the need of any lawyer? If I do hire a lawyer, how much do you usually charge for a single case? Alright, so today is all about immigration attorney. How much it will cost you, do you really need it, is it optional? Let's talk about lawyers. Before jumping in, I did want to recap quickly about the requirements for EB2 NIW, because it's always good to refresh our memory. I know I'm very insistent, but it is important. There are two types of requirements you have to fulfill. The advanced degree, that's the EB2 general requirement, which is master's or PhD or bachelor and 5 years of progressive experience. Or if you don't have any of that, you can still apply through the exceptional ability route. And I have a separate video that I'll leave a link here where you can see how you can qualify for exceptional ability. Once you have this left side fulfilled, then you still need, because you're asking for a national interest waiver, you have to fulfill with these three prongs of the matter of Danazar. I have a separate video talking about it, so you can go there and listen to that. Today I want to focus on the process from the point of view of having a lawyer or not. The answer to these questions we just saw is no. You do not need a lawyer. Let me put the pointer. You don't need a lawyer. It's not a requirement. USCIS will not look through your petition looking for where the lawyer's signature is or anything like that. In this category, EB2 NIW, you can self-sponsor, you can self-petition, you can, let's call it, represent yourself. You do not need a job offer or a company supporting your petition. If you do have a company supporting your petition, it's good. You can use that to your advantage, but you don't need it. For example, in my case, I was working for a US company and they did support me through the process, but they did not support me, let's say on paper. They were not needed. They didn't need to sign any of my forms. They didn't need to give me permission to apply. They just supported me through, for example, recommendation letters. I didn't use a lawyer for the EB2 NIW submission. I did all the work by myself, and that goes to my next point. You do need time, you do need effort. Don't think that submitting an EB2 NIW petition is quick and easy. If somebody out there tells you that, don't believe that. It takes time, it takes weeks. You need to do your research, you need to listen to this kind of content on YouTube, read websites, including the USCIS official websites. By the way, I have a link here of important websites that you can use for EB2 NIW education. And after you are familiar with this, then you will need to start putting together all your documents, to write your cover letter, to really put all the pieces together so you convince USCIS that you are worthy of this national interest waiver, of this green card, and that will allow you to reside in the US permanently. However, you can use a lawyer. There's nothing also, I said there's nothing written saying that you must have a lawyer, but there's nothing written saying you cannot have a lawyer. You can, it's optional. You can hire a lawyer, But keep in mind that I just said that you need time and effort if you put the petition by yourself. Don't think that if you hire a lawyer, all the time and effort is going to go away. Lawyers are generally pretty slow. They handle a lot of cases. They are very busy. They take time to answer your questions. And you will still need to put effort because they are not familiar with your field. This is a merit-based green card. You need to talk about yourself. You need to talk about what you did in your career, what you plan to do. The lawyer will not do those things for you. We'll go into detail about that in a second. So you can get a lawyer if you want, and you may either hire them on a consultation basis. Imagine that you want to do this by yourself. You are a do-it-yourself EB-2 NIW applicant, but you have certain things in your profile that are a little bit complicated, not very straightforward. You don't find convincing information out there. You can hire a lawyer for half an hour, for an hour, whatever you negotiate with them, and ask those questions that you need an answer to. You can do that. That's a consultation, or more than one. But you can also hire them, which is more common for this EB-2 NIW, hire them on a whole process basis. They will take your process and take it to the finish line. A little bit more about lawyers. These slides are from my video about costs of EB-2 NIW process. You can go to this link here and read and listen more about what is going to cost you all this process. But this is specific to attorneys. If you do choose to go with attorneys, then you must pay the attorney fees, and those are variable. They are not regulated in any way. So an immigration lawyer can charge you 7,000 and another one can charge you 15,000. You just have to ask for that information first and specifically ask what the services are, what is included in the price that you're going to pay them. So on average in 2022, $7,000 is what it costs to hire a lawyer for a full process. Now, as I said, you may find lawyers that may do this for less, 5,000 or so, and you may find lawyers that charge you 15, and even I heard about 20 and beyond $20,000. You have to ask them the hard questions. What does it include? And this is the next slide. Some of them will offer more services than others. Some of them will prepare draft recommendation letters. Some others, like the ones I've used for my EB1 process, I also applied for a different green card through my company. They will not prepare those letters and you will have to do everything by yourself. And in a way that may be good, to be honest. Prepare petition cover letter. Typically, all the lawyers will put together the cover letter. That is basically their job, to fill out the form and to put together the petition cover letter. That's actually the thing that when I was doing the EB1 process with my company and lawyers were hired, that's the one thing they did. And then when I did my EB2 NIW, I took all the materials that I had prepared for them to make the cover letter, and I prepared my own cover letter for my EB2 NIW process. So another thing is they may give you feedback on what is your profile, but some others may not give you that feedback. So they could take your resume and say, well, you have this and that. If you do this extra, for example, if you are a scientist and you do peer-reviewed journal reviews, if you do reviews in those type of journals, that may be useful for your application. They may come up with those kind of ideas that may be helpful, but some others may not give you that. Try to ask how responsive they are to questions. Some of them may take 1 week or 2 weeks to answer an email. For me, that's not acceptable. So ask them, how long do they take to answer your questions? I would, if it was me, I would like a person that replies in 1 or 2 days, not more than that. Otherwise, every time there's a question, a doubt, things will get delayed by a lot of time. Will they support an RFE answer? An RFE is a request for evidence. I have a separate video on this topic. And sometimes USCIS, after they receive your petition, they may have questions, they may want to see more evidence, and they will issue this RFE. Will your lawyer support you through this process of understanding what USCIS wants and responding to that kind of letter. That's an important thing to ask. Will, of course, and that's not here, but I just thought about it, will, of course, support your family members when they have to do their adjustment of status. For example, if you are all in the US, of course the I-140 is only for you, but then if your I-140 is approved, your whole close family members can do adjustment of status. Will they process that using the same fees that you already paid? And that would be ideal, of course. So, as I said earlier, hiring attorneys does not mean that you won't do any work, because you still need to give them a lot of information. You need to work on your CV and really make your CV really strong and detailed so they can have all the information they need to build your case. You have to describe all the projects you conducted in what is called layman's language, in language that everyone can understand. You have to write it in a way that your uncle can understand what you do. Hopefully your uncle is not on your field. You know what I mean. You have to write things in a very simple way so they understand it, and then they can use that in the petition cover letter. You have to produce all the documentation and evidence that they will need. So there's still a lot of work that you will need to do. Even if you don't write the cover letter, you really will put a lot of the pieces for them to then take and put them together. So don't think that hiring a lawyer will just make your EB-2 NIW application disappear. Alright, so that's about it for today. If you are interested in applying by yourself without a lawyer, or frankly, if you are using a lawyer but you have doubts and you want to be more educated about this EB-2 NIW green card category, then please visit my eb2niw.info website, where you can find my own petition. You can download it. It's real, it's my own, it's been successful, and you can use it to build your case as well. So you can follow my structure, the way I argued things, even though we probably have very different profiles because there's no two petitions the same, but you will benefit from what I wrote. I now have also an adjustment of status petition that you can use as well. And I recently have started doing more intensive support for certain individuals that are doing do-it-yourself applications but may want to have their petition reviewed by someone. I will give you my comments. I will give you a couple of video calls where we can go through your petition and see how we can make it stronger. But this service doesn't include my opinion on your qualifications, prediction on what is going to happen, writing on your behalf. This is for do-it-yourself applicants. So if you are working on your own petition, this may be a good solution for you. So go on my website and check the services page. And that is it for today. I wanted to thank you again, and thank you for the support that you're giving to this channel, to the community that we are building. And let's see each other in the next video. Good luck in your green card journey that is about to start or has started already. Alright, have a good one.